Hello, Alabama. Everyone is betting on Simpson. But Austin Mack could be an unexpected guy and take over the QB spot this year. We'll talk more about that, but first subscribe to the channel to receive more news from Bama. Honestly, DeBoer said good things about Mack, and that makes us think about it. When it comes to the quarterback position at Alabama, fans' eyes naturally turn to Ty Simpson. The young talent has been pointed out as the next big name under Kalen DeBoer's command, and rightly so. However, within this conversation that seems to already have a destiny mapped out, Austin Mack appears, a player who may not be in the spotlight right now, but whose trajectory deserves extra attention. And we're not just talking about speculation. DeBoer's recent statements and Mack's attitude indicate that he could be a key player in the Crimson Tide's 2025 QB1 race. Kalen DeBoer was emphatic when speaking about Mack. He not only highlighted the player's commitment, but also put him in the same league of hard work and competitiveness that defines the other quarterbacks on the roster. Austin will be exactly that, DeBoer said, referring to the relentless dedication that the athlete demonstrates on a daily basis. Those words are loaded with meaning, especially when they come from the mouth of a demanding coach like DeBoer. It's no small thing to say that Mack is considered one of the most dedicated players on the team, someone who never raises questions about his effort on the field or in practice. That kind of recognition doesn't come lightly, and it shows that Mack is willing to do whatever it takes to prove himself. But what really stands out is the combination of raw talent and experience that Mack brings to the table. Despite his limited opportunities thus far, just 3 pass attempts in 2 college seasons, he is the only quarterback on Alabama's current roster with a touchdown pass under his belt. That may seem like a small detail, but in football, especially at the Crimson Tide's competitive level, those moments of impact count for a lot. Additionally, offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb was blunt in stating that Mack has made huge strides during spring practice, highlighting his improvement in technique and decision-making. Grubb mentioned that there is still room for growth, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Mack is showing clear signs that he can compete with Simpson and Keelan Russell. Of course, Mack's performance on A-Day raised some eyebrows. The multiple interceptions thrown by Xavier Brown and Abdul Sanders Jr. were a reminder that there are still inconsistencies in the rookie's game. However, the fact that he has risen to those challenges and continued to work hard is a reflection of his resilient mindset. After the event, Mack posted a gallery of photos on his Instagram with the caption, "All in me. Keep going 10." The message was met with support from teammates including Russell, Kean Sabb and Rico Scott, showing that he's not alone in this journey. That unity among players is crucial, especially in a quarterback room where competition is fierce but mutual respect prevails. DeBoer also made a big point: Mack knows the offensive system well. That's vital in a program like Alabama, where complexity of plays and precision in execution are key. Having that knowledge gives Mack a significant advantage, and when combined with his talented arm, it creates an interesting narrative for the 2025 season. He may not be the favorite right now, but college football is full of stories of players who have risen from lesser-known positions to become protagonists. Mack has all the ingredients to be one of those stories. The season opener against Florida State on August 30th promises to be a litmus test for the Crimson Tide, and it may be the perfect time for Mack to show the world what he can do. While Ty Simpson is seen as the natural leader, the constant pressure from Mack and Russell could create a healthy dynamic within the roster that will elevate the overall level of the team. And who knows? Maybe the touchdown pass Mack has already thrown is just the first of many. What is clear is that Alabama has an exciting competition for the QB1 spot on its hands. Ty Simpson may be the obvious choice right now, but Austin Mack is proving he won't go down without a fight. With the support of DeBoer, the confidence of his teammates, and his own unwavering determination, he has the potential to surprise everyone and establish himself as a central piece of the team's future. Cory Barber's recruitment is one of those stories that highlights the human nature of college football. It's not just about numbers, rankings, or projections. It's about a young athlete searching for the right place to call home while trying to prove to the world that he deserves more recognition. And while his connection to Alabama is evident in its geographic proximity and personal connections, Barber has been clear, he's not going to choose a program just because it's there. He wants something bigger, something that makes sense for his career, his development and, most importantly, who he is as a player and a person. Barber is one of those names that seems to have fallen off the radar of many recruiting experts and critics. Ranked as the number 46 wide receiver nationally in the 2026 class by 247 Sports Composite rankings, he admits to feeling underappreciated. But that feeling of being overlooked doesn't seem to faze him. If anything, it only fuels his motivation. When you talk to him or listen to his comments to the Tuscaloosa News, it's clear that Barber has a chip on his shoulder. He knows he can be so much more than the label he's been given, and he plans to prove it, both this season and in the future. Barber's connection to Alabama is intriguing. For one, he grew up less than an hour away from Tuscaloosa, and his life is intertwined with the Crimson Tide culture in many ways. His best friend, Jalen Backwee, plays there, and Ryan Williams, another familiar name, is also on the roster. Plus, Zion Gibson, a fellow 2026 player he grew up with, has already committed to Alabama. It all creates a convenient narrative. Barber is the city kid who decides to come home. But he firmly rejects that idea. For him, the Alabama logo isn't enough. He wants more, a place where he can thrive, where he feels like he truly belongs, regardless of distance or outside expectations. That attitude reflects maturity and authenticity. Many players in his position could easily succumb to the pressure of choosing the closest or most prestigious program. But Barber is focused on finding the perfect fit, even if it means ignoring convention. He mentions that Alabama sees him as a dynamic playmaker, someone who can turn short plays into long ones and dominate tight passes with a 90-10 advantage. That's exactly the kind of thing that attracts any talented receiver. Still, Barber won't make decisions based solely on what coaches say about him. He wants to see, feel, and experience it for himself during his official visit to the Crimson Tide, scheduled for June 6 to 8. What makes this story even more fascinating is the connection Barber feels with Latsier Brooks, the Alabama freshman wide receiver who has been impressive in recent months. Like Brooks, Barber sees himself as a versatile and underrated player, someone who can make high-quality plays in a variety of situations. That connection with Brooks could play a big part in his final decision. It's about seeing yourself reflected in another player and realizing that that environment might be the ideal place to thrive. But Barber also knows that football isn't just about the game itself. Brock Bradley, his quarterback at Spain Park High School and a future Clemson player, gave him some valuable advice. Evaluate each program based on what his life would be like there, even without football. That kind of reflection shows that Barber is thinking long-term, analyzing not only what happens inside the white lines of the field, but also off it. He wants to understand the culture of the program, the values instilled by the coaches, and even the lifestyle each school offers. It's impossible not to admire Barber's mindset. He's not interested in being just another name on a list of recruits. He wants to build something meaningful, both for himself and for the program he eventually chooses. That's evident when he talks about his skills. "I'm just a guy who wants the ball," he says, with a simplicity that belies his ambition. He knows he can change the game with his speed, reliable hands, and ability to escape defensive backs. He's the kind of player offensive coordinators love to have on their roster, someone who can create magic in any situation. The Crimson Tide have always needed receivers who can make a difference in crucial moments, and Barber certainly has the potential to become that kind of player. But as he's said, he's not going to choose Alabama simply because it's close to home. He needs to feel like the program is the right fit for him, and the team can tell him that. Comment below.